Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. I have a sneaky suspicion that my camera battery is going to die pretty soon, but it is around 11:30 at night and I want to get this vlog off to a start because I do actually have something to tell you about Burn by Patrick Ness now. So I did start this last week, but at the point where I was up to at the end of last week's vlog, I couldn't really tell you too much about it because I really wasn't that far in. But this is a young adult fantasy. It is Patrick Ness's new release. It's released on Thursday, I believe, and Walker Books kindly sent me a copy to review for you guys. So I'm 198 pages into this now. I thought I'd read more today, but this is a young adult historical fantasy that takes place in 1957, and we actually have a few main characters. So one of our main characters is called Sarah. She is biracial. Her mother was black, her father is white. She lives on a farm in Washington State. Now the fantastical thing about this world is that there are dragons, and Sarah's father hires a dragon to work on their farm, which is something that apparently only poor people do. Our other main character is a boy called Malcolm who is part of, I don't know whether to call them a cult. Let's call them a religion. There is a religion in this world called the Believers, and the Believers believe that dragons are angels and are this sign of higher divine power, and that they are signs from the heavens. The reason that I couldn't tell you too much about this last week is because it is split perspective. So even though I was on page 80, I had only spent like 40 pages with each character and I had no idea what was going on. But this follows Sarah as her father has hired this dragon to work the land, and the things that are going on, like small town politics and the extreme racism there, as well as her getting to know this dragon and learning more about dragons in general, while Malcolm is on a mission that he has been set by the Pope of the Believers, or like the Pope figure, who is, I believe she's called Mightier Thea or Mittia Thea, something like that, and he is on a mission that involves killing anybody who gets in his way. So that's probably about as much as I can tell you about this because it does unravel very slowly, and some of the characters believe things that aren't true. You don't know what the truth is until it happens. So yeah, it's hard to say what it's about, but this involves a lot of topics I was a little bit surprised about. We have the racism, which makes sense to the setting, 1957 rural America, but going into this I did not know that the main character was biracial. There is also a Japanese character in here. There's a male-male relationship in here that does also come with trigger warnings for homophobia because 1957 rural America, and there is a hint at sexual assault in here as well. Nothing too graphic, but it is there. As well as that, we have the historical background of 1950s America and America almost going to war with Russians. So the plot is actually quite involved with that message. And we also have things in here like people launching the first satellites into space and things like that. The writing is pretty good. I'm enjoying the writing. I'm not sure I like the way that Patrick Ness is telling the story because we are getting bits and pieces from all sorts of characters. I don't know. I'm not finding it particularly compelling in that way. It's definitely an easy read. It's been easy for me to just keep reading through it, but I don't like the way that he's hopping between all the character perspectives right down to the wire of this big event. My other gripe in this as well is that I still have 180 pages left of this, and it feels like I'm coming to the end of the book. Like everything throughout the last 200 pages has been building up to an event that I assumed was going to be the finale event of the book, but I'm currently about halfway and all of that is unraveling right now. So we'll have to see. I feel like this is a book that I'm only going to be able to judge when I get to the end of it. Maybe everything will become clear, maybe I will enjoy it more. But I'm just struggling to get a thread on what this book is actually about, especially because, as I said, none of the characters really know the truth until the truth is happening. So now that the truth has happened, I'm hoping that it will become clear what the book is actually about, because aside from having themes of like racism, homophobia, and still living your life whilst overcoming such prejudice, I'm not too sure what the point of this book is yet, but all will become clear by the time I've finished, I hope. So my camera battery is flashing as I predicted it would, which means I'm gonna go skedaddle. I think it's going to cut me off halfway through my sentences, but it is my birthday in 30 minutes. Yay, happy birthday to me. So I'm not working at all tomorrow. I've worked a lot today. I still have a little bit of work to do at 11:30 at night, but I'm going to go and get a shower before it gets too late so that my hair has time to dry. But I have worked from the moment I got up this morning up until this point with a short break break for dinner. So I'm gonna go get a shower, make myself feel all fresh for my birthday, get those few things I need to do done, and then read some more of this in bed.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Becca. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Becca. Happy birthday to you.
Hello. So yesterday I did not bring you any updates, but I did absolutely fuck all yesterday, and honestly it was the best. I had the greatest time. I ate some food, I played some Fortnite, I watched some Buffy and Angel, I played some more Fortnite, I did some reading, and then I did a whole ton of sleeping. It was honestly the best time. I cannot remember the last time that I have had a day like that, because one thing that was different about yesterday than other times when like I have a day off is that I could absolutely do nothing that was strenuous or considered as work, and because of that it relieved all mental pressure from myself thinking like, oh, I know you don't have to work today, but maybe you should clean the bathroom, or maybe you should do the hoovering and things like that. And to be honest, when I got to the end of the day I got really sad, because I cannot remember the last time that I had a day where I did not feel pressure to do anything and I was completely at ease and chill and able to do whatever the hell I wanted. But it was honestly, it was the best time. Thank you so much to anybody who wished me happy birthday, anybody who sent me any gifts as well. I filmed my birthday unboxing yesterday. I've just filmed a little section because I received a couple of parcels today, but thank you, just thank you so much for making my birthday a little bit special, because with us being in lockdown I couldn't really do anything. I mean, the point of my birthday was that I couldn't really do anything, but I would have rather gone out for food instead of ordering food in, and dressed up and made myself look a little bit fancy, you know. And as well as that, I haven't seen any of my family members because of lockdown, so they sent me money this year instead of buying me gifts. I haven't seen my best friend, and I think that this is the first birthday I've spent without my best friend for at least 8 years, if not 10, I would say. So the gifts that he's gotten me I have not received yet, and Curtis pre-ordered me a bunch of stuff, so you guys gave me presents to open on my birthday, and I'm so grateful. But as I said yesterday, I did do a little bit of reading and I managed to finish Burn by Patrick Ness. Now I gave this 3 stars. I don't necessarily think that it's a bad book. I would definitely say it's not necessarily a book for me. I enjoyed the story, but there were a lot of elements that I didn't enjoy about it. It's not that I didn't enjoy them, there's just nothing about it that I overwhelmingly loved, you know. I think that this is good. I feel like his writing is similar to A Monster Calls. Like, I can tell Patrick Ness wrote this. The story in here is not my favorite type of story. It's really hard for me to review this book because I don't think that there was anything wrong with it. I think that it was very well written. I think that the plot was good, although I didn't like the structure of the plot. There were quite a few twists and turns in here. The final twist in this book I really liked. It was not necessarily a trope, but just something that I really like, where you have a moment of realization, let's say. I really can't say anything about it because I don't even know how to describe like what type of literary device it is. I appreciated the diversity in here because this book is both diverse in terms of race and sexuality. I would say that it could be quite triggering for people in the way that race and sexuality are discussed in this book, but I really like that portrayal. I liked the setting of the 1950s. I think my issue, the reason why I don't love this story, is because it felt like it could be a really good movie, and I think that this would be a better movie than it was a book. Once again, not particularly sure why. Like, there's nothing I can pinpoint. It just felt like a movie. It felt more like a movie than a book, and I know that all forms of media, all forms of fiction are storytelling, but when I was reading this, it just felt like a movie, and that's all I can say. I would say that it felt a little bit like an adventure story. I would say that it felt quite empowering for teenagers. It felt like a teenage family adventure film, you know? It was just a very time warpy, twisty, tricky kind of plot. Like I said, I did enjoy it. There's just nothing in here that I overwhelmingly love. However, if you're a fan of Patrick Ness, if you're a fan of fantasy standalones or action standalones, standalones, then I think that you may enjoy this a little bit more than I did. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I think objectively it is quite a good book, just not really personally for me. The only issue with it that I can identify that I really didn't like is the way that the novel is structured. So I believe I mentioned to you the other day that we are building towards something that feels like it's going to be the end of the book. However, that happens midway, and then we start to build up to something else that is completely not what I expected at all. And I think that the bit in between that midpoint section that we'd built up to, that I thought was going to be the end of the book, and the final thing that we build up to at the end of the novel really dragged on. I love the way that Patrick Ness put things in there and made it relate to the first half of the novel. Let's stop beating about the bush. Essentially, this book deals with different dimensions, and I liked the way that the dimensions related to each other, but I just didn't like how we built up to something at the beginning of the novel and then had to build up to something else kind of thing. But 3 stars, I did enjoy it. It just wasn't my favorite kind of thing. So this one was on my Bookopoly TBR for the challenge to read a young adult fantasy, I think. So we are on the 6th of the month now. Finally got one Bookopoly book down. Honestly, can't lie, don't think I'm actually going to complete my Bookopoly TBR for the first time this year. I'm really busy with work, as I'm sure I've mentioned 5 million times. And after yesterday, I decided that I was going to dedicate as much of my time to work as possible until I can catch a break, until I clear through some stuff that's been building up. And then I'm going to try and take regular days off because I like them. I've discovered that I actually like them, and do a lot of reading on those days. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I change all the time, so that's probably not going to happen. But the book that I'm going to be starting next, that I have not started yet because strangely I have not read a page today. Like I said, trying to focus more on work, which means that I haven't done any reading at all. And the one that I'm starting next is Lifelike by J. Kristoff. So this one is a young adult sci-fi. It is the first book in J. Kristoff's only solo sci-fi series. I don't know too much about this, but I believe it is similar to Robot Wars. It has a little bit of Mad Max in there, although I can't lie, I only know that from the promo. I don't even know what Mad Max is. And I believe the other thing that it said it had in it was Romeo and Juliet. And then as well as that, I believe that this is a loose retelling of Anastasia or something to do with the Romanov dynasty. So this follows a girl, I think she finds an android in a scrap heap and puts him back together, and then they go to discover the secrets of her past. That is all I know about this, but J. Kristoff is one of my favorite authors, so I'm pretty convinced I'm going to love it. And yeah, for more information, we'll have to wait until I'm a little bit into it. So those are all of my updates. I spent 6 hours today making candles. I'm hoping I'm going to have time tomorrow evening to send out a whole bunch of those, but the majority of tomorrow I want to spend working through my plaque orders because they have built up massively. So I'm going to be a little bit of a busy bee for the next couple of days. I am hoping to get some reading done though, and because I'm reading J. Kristoff, I think that that will compel me to read a little bit more, because with Burn, I was enjoying it while I was reading it, but I was in no hurry to pick it back up. It's not like I was actively avoiding reading it, but it wasn't really making me want to pick it up, if that makes sense. But for now, I'm going to go and edit that birthday unboxing. I think I have around an hour of footage, so I'm not looking forward to it, but I do like editing things like hauls and unboxing videos because they're pretty standard. So hopefully it won't take me too long, and then I can go and get some reading done in bed. Hey guys, so it's been a couple of days. Honestly, I'm not in the best mood today. I don't really know whether it's my mood per se, but I woke up a little bit late. I woke up at well, I say a reasonable time. I woke up at the normal time I've been waking up, which is a little bit later than I normally prefer to wake up. And then I just rolled around in bed for an hour wanting to go back to sleep. I just don't want to do anything today, and I'm being incredibly sulky about it. It's very annoying. It's a very annoying mindset to be in. I have a couple of videos to film today. I need to film my video for tomorrow, and I also want to film my video for next Thursday so that I don't have to film again until next Saturday. But I can't get for going today. I'm struggling with motivation and getting my shit together. The reason I haven't been vlogging much this week, I've been working a lot this week trying to get shit done. I don't feel like I've made any more progress than I normally would have done, to be fair. There's just not enough hours in the day really, but I'm also slumpy. I'm not sure if slump is the right word for it. Like, I read a lot last month, and this month I'm just not super into reading a whole ton. So I did start far Lifelike by J. Kristoff. I'm on page 180 of this, so I can't remember what day I started this now. Was it, what day is it now? Saturday? Was it like Wednesday? I've only read 180 pages. I have not been reading a lot at all. Would be very surprised if I managed to complete my Bookopoly TBR this month, to be fair. But you know, it happens some months. This month I just don't think it's going to be a great reading month for me, which is fine. Sometimes we got to focus on other shit. But I'm not sure if I'm enjoying this, to be honest, which is surprising. I know I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised that I'm not super into this. But in this book we follow a girl called Eve, and Eve had an accident when she was a kid, and because of that she has some synthetic parts. She has like a robotic eyeball, and part of her skin and her brain has been reformed with robot technology. This is a post-apocalyptic story as well, so we first meet Eve when she is participating in this robot war where she is controlling a robot and she's trying to win some money to pay for her grandfather's medication because he has cancer and is reliant on this medication that they need money to pay for to survive. Eve has a best friend called Lemon Fresh who is pretty cool. I do think there's going to be more to Lemon Fresh than meets the eye after the last couple of chapters I've read. And very early into this book we also meet a character called Ezekiel, who is something called a lifelike, and a lifelike is a series of androids that they made that they have since discontinued because there are 3 rules for robots in this world. The first, I believe, is that robots can't harm humans. The second is that they must obey humans unless it contradicts the first rule, and the third is that they must protect themselves providing that that doesn't contradict the first 2 rules. So a few years back this series of robots called lifelikes were created, and they look incredibly human. Like, they look human, they feel human, but they are robots. They started to behave increasingly more like humans to the point where they weren't bound by the 3 laws that all robots are bound by, and this caused all of the models to be destroyed and they were not allowed to be manufactured anymore. However, quite early on in this book Eve does find a lifelike called Ezekiel, and it seems that Ezekiel actually knows something about Eve's past that she is unaware of. So as I said, Eve has had all of this reconstruction. She has like chips that provide her memories that she lost when she suffered a brain injury as a child. She was shot in the head, and she has no idea who this lifelike is or how he knows so much about her. So that's pretty much the setup for this book. What I will say is that it definitely 100% is an Anastasia retelling, and I really like the Anastasia elements in here. Unlike Blood Air, which I read recently, which was supposed to be an Anastasia retelling and I just couldn't see it, I can very much see the roots of Anastasia in this plot. A lot of this is told in flashbacks, and through that we get Eve's life before she was shot and lost a lot of her memories. So a lot of this book so far has been told in flashback, and that is filling in the Anastasia portions of this book, like Eve's origins, who she was before she got shot in the head and lost a lot of her memories. And I'm really enjoying the flashback sections of this. I do like the characters so far, but I don't love them. I feel like the reason why I don't think I'm enjoying this is because I really don't like the world. It reminds me a lot of the video game Fallout, which is made by the same company that make the video game Skyrim or the Elder Scrolls, and I love the Elder Scrolls games, but I've never really liked the Fallout games. I just don't like that setting. So it's like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. I'm not really sure what's happened to make this world as it is at this point, because you do just kind of get thrown in there. For the first few chapters of this book I was questioning whether it was even written in English because I had no idea what was going on, but it's very much a scrap world, and it seems like they've made things out of scrap and the world is made of scrap. It's a weird world, and I don't like the post-apocalyptic vibes. I think it's just a setting that I do not particularly enjoy being in. I'm also struggling with the world building in here. Like I said, you are just thrown into this world, and I'm really struggling to get a grip on what the world actually looks like. Like, what is this trash world? I don't understand. As well as that, surprisingly, I don't love J. Kristoff's writing in this one. A lot of people complain, a lot of people who don't like Nevernight do say that they don't like the way that he has metaphors that don't make sense, and I've never struggled with that because I consider them to be quite melodramatic, but they do make sense to me. Like when I'm reading Nevernight and there's a metaphor that doesn't make sense literally, I kind of understand the vibe that he's going for, but in here I'm finding it really jarring, and there'll be these metaphors that I just don't get, and it's really obvious, and the writing style doesn't fit the setting, I would say. I think that's it. I think in Nevernight, with this high fantasy setting, and it's quite dark and gloomy and gothic, and we follow this angsty but incredibly driven teenager, the melodrama in the writing adds to that setting, but it feels out of place to me in this setting. It's kind of a mesh of the cheesy writing and made up languages of Illumicrate and Aurora Rising and the melodrama of Nevernight, and it's just not working for me. I'm not overly enjoying it. This book is also incredibly action-packed. It's very fast-paced. I'm on page 180 and I think I'm on like the third major event since the start of the book, and I don't love books like that, you know. In sci-fi, or at least in space opera, I don't actually mind the really fast pacing. I quite enjoy it, but in this setting it's just not as enjoyable for me so far, unfortunately. But I do want to finish this by the end of the week. That is like my only goal reading wise, is to finish this by, oh my god, that's tomorrow. Well, we'll see what I can do. I'm really trying to prioritize just getting shit done this week, so I'm going to film 3 videos now back to back, or I'm not. I'm filming this vlog update and then 2 videos back to back. I'm going to try and get that out of the way, and then I'm going to try and do some cleaning. I really need to sort out my garden. There are weeds everywhere, but I need to go out and get some gardening gloves so I can actually pull them, and as well as that, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, my mum and dad used to get me to weed when I was a kid, but I don't know, there's just stuff in the garden that needs doing and I don't really process how to do it. Like, I need to do the weeding, I need to sweep everything because there's still all of the leaves that fell in autumn. It's not too bad, but it's just kind of grimy around the edges, you know. I need to sort out the planting bed I have at the back because that's overrun with weeds. Ideally it would need power washing, but I would need to get a power washer, or at least check the pressure on my hose, I guess. And I also need to trim back a whole ton of bushes because it's summer now. They're kind of just like all growing outwards, and yeah, I don't really know how to do it. I don't know how to even begin to start to tackle that task, so that is stressing me out a little bit because the weather is absolutely glorious and I keep going sitting outside for 5 minutes and then just getting annoyed at how messy the garden is and coming back inside. But we'll see what I can tackle when I've managed to film these videos, and then I'll probably spend my evening editing. But I did also receive an Amazon parcel today. This is one of my belated birthday gifts from my wish list. I would assume, I haven't opened it yet so I can't say for sure, but yeah, I need a little bit of an endorphin boost today to get me through because I'm just being ridiculously sulky. So let's see what we have in this one then. One book, she's quite heavy. Gift note. This is from Abby. The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. Oh, this is a hefty paperback. Is this self-published? Yeah, I think so. I love self-published books because the weight of them, like, they just feel really good, and oh yeah, I like it. I like it without even the contents of the book. I just like the physical book. So the gift note for this says, hi Becca, happy belated birthday. I love your channel and don't comment much on your videos, but I have this on my TBR and can't wait to hear your thoughts. Hope you are doing well, from Abby. Thank you so much, Abby, for sending this my way. Honestly, do not know too much about this, but I have been recommended this countless times recently based on me wanting to read more fantasy romance. I was aware of Danielle L. Jensen. I was aware of The Bridge Kingdom, but I always thought that it was kind of like a standard YA fantasy, but apparently it's a pretty good fantasy romance. Okay, so I just read the synopsis of this, and the main character actually marries the king of the Bridge Kingdom with the hopes of infiltrating his kingdom and bringing him down so that the kingdoms can negotiate some kind of peace treaty. But as you can imagine, she starts to fall in love with him, so this seems like a hate to love or enemies to lovers situation, which you guys know I love. So thank you so much, Abby, for sending this my way. I have heard excellent things about it and I'm very excited to get to it.
I would love to be your stars, your moon, your sun. I would love to be that one. I'd love to be the one to make you laugh. I'd love to be the one who'd always say that I love you back. I would always be the one who cares. I'll try my very best to always be there. And the stars and moon and sun would all align. And for a million years and more, I'd make you mine. 'Cause all the shades of blue go away when I'm with you. Put a gold frame around my heart. 'Cause you make me feel like a piece of art. I could sit and listen to you talk. Ignore the time and throw away the clock. I'd love to hear each thought upon your mind. I'd love to hang on close to every word that I could find. 'Cause all the shades of blue.
Hey guys, so it is almost time for the drunk birthday live show for me and Gavin, and they're being they're being weird in the background. If you can, there they are. There's my bays having a party before the live show's even started. Yeah, this is, I've just topped up my drink, but there is Malibu at the moment. I'm switching to vodka soon, but there is Malibu up to the level of the gold, and then the rest is Coke. I've already drank half of this and then retopped it up, so I am a little bit tipsy, and I still need to wrap up this vlog because I haven't done that yet. So I am going to have to do that later when I am less than sober, but I'm still currently reading Lifelike. I'm on page 295 of this. Gavin is now vlogging me vlogging, but yeah, I'm gonna go and get on with this live show. Sorry for anything I say after this point, because I'm already feeling a little bit tipsy, so later on it's not gonna be great. Hey guys, so we're like 7.5 hours into the live show and I just spilled my drink all down my wall of my computer. Hey, so it is nearly 5 AM. Holy fuck, that live show was, I don't know how long it was. I think it was 8.5 hours. I think we finished at 4 AM. It's now 5, I think I've said that. We talked for like an hour afterwards. Got my water here. I'm pissed. I'm so drunk. I'm so drunk. I've drank like half a litre of vodka and however much Malibu I had left, which I actually don't know. I also spilled my drink everywhere, including it on my book, on my phone, on my Mac keyboard, a little bit on my camera, also got on my printer, and also ran all the way down my walls. I need to wrap up this vlog because it's now Monday morning. I also need to take my makeup off and go to bed. I'm enjoying Lifelike now. I haven't finished it. I wanted to finish it before I ended this vlog, but I have not managed that. I have not managed that at all. I should have left my hair pretty before I updated. I'm enjoying it more now. The writing is still a little bit annoying. The setting is still not my favourite, but I like the characters and I like the plot. So I'm hoping that I can finish that tomorrow. I have quite a bit to do tomorrow because I need to go pick up a printer from my old boss, because mine, like not a normal printer, not like a printer. Oh, there's my empty chip plate. I made chips. My printer that I use to print plaques has just pretty much given in. So I rang my old boss to ask if he had any cleaning solution, and he said yeah, but also that I could take the other printer. So I'm really behind on those orders. So tomorrow morning I need to go pick up that printer. I say it's tomorrow morning, it's already tomorrow morning. I need to go pick up that printer and then do a lot of work. So tomorrow is going to be interesting because I also need to edit this vlog, but I haven't finished Lifelike. I'm going to try and finish it tomorrow and then start Believe-a-thon. I'm going to be starting my Believe-a-thon TBR. Fuck, I'm drunk. I'm so drunk. I haven't been this drunk since like 2015. I read in the live show, I read my book. I read part of the book that I wrote in 2015, which was actually pretty fucking good. I'm impressed with myself. Maybe I should write again. I don't have time for that, but it was fucking good. I will say that I'm surprised at how good my writing was in 2015. What am I saying? I'm gonna go take my makeup off and I'm gonna go get some sleep before it is the real morning. So I can't remember what my vlog outro is. I hope you liked this vlog. Is that it? I hope you liked this vlog. If you made it this far, If you did, then please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.